Hi, everybody. I'm Dan Ramey, Litter Media, and a special guest with me today. She is the Executive Director of the Ross County Humane Society, Jenn Thomas. Jenn, thank you so much for joining us here today.
Thank you.
I know when you and I first started talking, it was in the radio format, came into the studio, sat down, and about the second or third month during our conversations, you started saying, we need to do this. Today, we're going to share what this is. We've got a plan together here, right?
We do. So today we are officially announcing the launch of our capital campaign to get a new building. So we're really excited. We've kind of been, when I came, we talked about how the building was in such disrepair and, we've kind of put Band-Aids on it, and we just were not in a position at that point to even consider getting a new building. So we've, the board, both the seasoned board and our new board have worked diligently with me over the last 6 years to kind of put some things in place. And then 6 months ago, we really got the ball rolling and had decided that, right now is the time for us to, get a new building to make the lives of the dogs in our community better. So today is the first day of that.
Today is the day it's launch day, as we say.
Day.
This is like William Shatner going up into space,
Yes.
But this is going to benefit not only the dogs, but also the Ross County community. We do want to have you tell us more,
Okay.
But she's going to tell us more in a video that we'll share with you in just a moment. Our presentation here today is brought to you by the Ross Chillicothe Convention and Visitors Bureau. More with Jenn Thomas and her special message right after this. Our parent company, Litter Quality Propane, has been a big supporter of the Ross County Humane Society, as have many businesses in the community. If you watch this video and decide you would like to help out more in a big scale way or even a little scale way, we will tell you how you can do that after you've watched this presentation.
I am Jenn Thomas. I am the Executive Director for the Ross County Humane Society, and we are asking for your help today to help us get a new building. The building will help the community, which will help the dogs, which then in turn will help the members of our community. We've done really good with the building that we have, and we're very thankful for that building, but we are at a point right now in our juncture that we need a new building in order to progress past what we have overcome. So in order for us to help more dogs in a better way and help the community in a better way and to house the dogs in a humane and ethical way, we need to make changes with the building. And the building has definitely served us well for the last 20 some years, but it has reached the end of its life cycle. If we don't get a new building, we are going to start regressing back just because of things being broken and just the environment that the staff and the dogs are in based on the condition of the current building. Tens of thousands of dogs have come through this building in the last 30 years. In this last 7 years since I've been here, we've taken in over 8,000 dogs. Every healthy, adoptable dog is adopted. Even some of the dogs that are not healthy, if we are able to make them healthy, we will, but we have not euthanized a dog to make space for 8 years, 9 years maybe. So every healthy, adoptable dog is leaving this building, adopted or with a rescue or with another organization. I think when the building was built, it was built more as a pound, which I hate the word pound, and I know that that was just the terminology that they use. Like, we're providing a service now that maybe they wanted to provide back then or didn't have the means or the education or even just the standards were not the same, Dogs would come in, they would be held, and then they would be either redeemed, adopted, or disposed of, and they were housing 2 and 3 dogs in one kennel. They didn't have very good disease control, which we struggle with that now with the current state of the building. We're much more educated now on, what's the best thing to do for dogs, and I think that they did the best that they had when they had it at that time. The society has been around for over 100 years. How many things have changed in 100 years? So much. Just the way people see companion animals, the way that people treat their pets, the laws around owning pets and those things have changed. And even in the last 30 years, those things have greatly changed. But you know what hasn't changed? Our building. I think that when it was built from just a contractor's standpoint, meaning, okay, they need kennels, they need this, let's just build that. We have kind of learned from that mistake and want to make sure that we are doing things in a better way. So we have actually been consulting with another organization, GG Shelter for Dogs. They're out of Canal, Winchester, and they spent years researching paint colors. How do we humanely house dogs? How do we prevent disease? How do we make it, as stress-free for dogs as possible? And we're very, very fortunate to have that partnership with them. And we have consulted with them on a new design and kind of modeled our building sort of after what they do. We have consulted with people that I would consider to be experts in animal sheltering, at least in our particular area. And they spent years before they built their facility, and they really just want to help us, do what we know our potential is, but our facility limits that in our current state. We don't have enough space for the office staff, which I know is really probably the lowest priority. Our highest priority is always going to be the dogs, but we're sitting on top of each other inside of this building. The new building will have that. Our new building will have isolation areas so that we'll be able to separate sick dogs from healthy dogs. We never know what's going to come in until it walks in the door, and that might be a dog that's sick and we won't know. We get a lot of puppies from our community, so we will have a maternity area. We get a lot of moms with puppies. I wish that we didn't, but unfortunately we do. So that will be a need that we'll be able to serve the dog wardens. The county will have about 5 times as much space as they currently have. They're in a 10 by 10 office right now, and they'll have an area to bring their trucks in. They'll have an area to have 2 desks. They will have more space to efficiently do their job. A separate entrance from us as well, a veterinary hospital inside of it that will be initially used for shelter dogs, for just routine medical care. We also will have a surgery suite, which we do not have now. Eventually, we would like to be able to offer spay neuters at low cost to the public, but during the initial part, it will be used to spay and neuter our dogs, which will make it much more efficient, because right now we're transporting dogs to and from vet appointments, which takes up time, it takes up resources. There will be natural light for the dogs, which right now we don't have at all. The building is basically 100 by 40 building. It's 4,000 square feet, and I think it has 6 windows in it. So one of the things that we have learned from other partner organizations is that natural light is very important for dogs. Imagine if you were locked in a room with no light. I mean, that's kind of what we're dealing with right now, just because of the way the building was made. Adoption space inside. Right now, we don't have anywhere where you can meet a dog if you want to adopt it, because we currently have dogs in it. A dedicated intake area, which again goes back to disease control, which is a big part of this. Right now we have one door. Dogs come in, dogs go out, they go out of the one door. It's not very good for controlling disease, because if you bring in a sick dog and it walks through the building, then you bring in a healthy dog and it walks through the building, because we don't have any other options. So the new building will have provisions for that space so that we can, again, we want to give people the healthiest pets that they can, the happiest pets that we can. And while we do a great job with what we have, a new building would just open up a whole lot of other possibilities for the dogs and for the community. We're basically the start to a new life for somebody that maybe hasn't had the best life to begin with for whatever reason. So we're definitely not the end. We're the beginning for a lot of dogs.
So you've been watching this and you've been wondering, how is it that we can get involved? How can we help the Ross County Humane Society? And that's why we wanted to have Jenn in with us to talk about that here today. It's easy to go to your website, but going to your website, talking to other people,
Sure.
collecting that money that you had in the Maxwell House golf, the coffee can, bring that money in, because it'll go to a good use.
Sure. So, I mean, the Humane Society has been serving Ross County for over 100 years, since 1912, and we all know things have changed, but the one thing that has not changed, that has been consistent, is the community support. So, previous donors, whether it's $1 or $5, or some donors have given $10,000 or $50,000, it all will add up. And, over the years, they've supported us in, all of our projects and endeavors and helping the animals from it within our community. And we hope that now they will, look back at all of the successes that we had, in the building that we currently have and all of the things that we've overcome and ask themselves like, how can I be part of this? How can I help? Whether that's, you give up your cup of coffee for the day for $5, or if you're a business owner or a family and, they want to leave some sort of a legacy, if they're animal lovers, $50,000, $100,000. It's going to take all kinds of people with all kinds of passions to support our passion. And we just hope that people will, help us make this a reality. We've diligently been working over the last 6 months behind the scenes. We have a lot of really good commitments of people that are committed to, our mission and making us able to help more dogs in the community. And so we hope that, if we haven't reached out to you or we haven't touched on you yet, that, if you have a desire to help, whether it's $1 or $500,000, the project is a $1.5 million project. So, and, we're well underway. We're confident that this is going to happen, and we're hoping that by next year we can definitely at least break ground on the project. If not have it completed by the end of the year. So.
Oh, we like hearing that. So you want to make sure that you get a piece of this. You want to be a part of it. If you have a passion for dogs, this is something you can easily get behind.
Yeah, and this is a long-term solution for a problem that is probably going to exist in another 30 years. This is not, before we had talked about doing just a remodel on the current building that we have. And we probably would have completed that had COVID not shut that down. And, in hindsight, while it would have been great for us, like right now, this project we're thinking long-term. I'm thinking long beyond me, long beyond, the people that are currently involved. Like this is a 30 to 50 year, investment in the community, and not just the community itself and the animals, the living, breathing beings that we are also, supporting. So it's a commitment for the community and for the dogs.
I think in the video you made the statement, when they made this building, it was more along the lines of what would be a dog pound.
Correct.
Not a shelter. And a shelter, as you mentioned, things have changed in how we treat our animals.
Correct.
And we want to give them the best outlook and the best outcome as well. And to do that, you need to have a better facility in order to house them, but also to do the other services that go with it.
Correct. We can house dogs in the facility that we have. We've done it for 25 or 30 years. But we want to be more than just a housing organization. We want to be, the standard for Southern Ohio for how animal sheltering is seen. It's not just dogs in kennels. It's, making sure that they have stimulation, making sure that they have the natural light, making sure that they have access to, vet care and healthy sanitary environments. And while we would love for that to have happened and we clean as best we can, but our building is at the end of its life cycle. There's nothing more that we can do for that building that is going to be sustainable into the future for the Humane Society and for the community. So right now is the time for us to make that happen. We are making that commitment to the community, and we hope that the community will support us and help us make it happen.
In looking at it, there's no restoration of this building.
It's a metal pole building, and again, it served its purpose. They did the best that they could with what they had, and now we are hoping to do the best that we can with the best that we have. Yeah.
So let's make this possible, and the way to do that is by giving. And again, go to your website. You've got information right there.
The website should have been updated this morning. With information about the project, and we obviously will release more information as we get further along in the process. But yeah, there's ways to donate. If you want to speak to somebody, you're welcome to reach out to myself or the board, or you can call the shelter. And we'll be happy to talk with anybody about our project and the commitments and the opportunities that people have to support this project.
She's passionate about her job. I saw that from day one.
And I didn't even cry during this interview. Yeah. I should get a prize for that.
She even prepared with tissues, but didn't have to use them.
He's not kidding.
So we wish you well with this project. Let's see if we can knock it out before the end of 2021.
Yes.
If we can do that, fantastic. In 2022, we could break ground.
Yes, and
That'd
we
be
will
awesome.
have this posted on our social media as well, the video with the information and stuff. So if anybody wants to go to our social media on Facebook, or you can go to our website.
I know you and I talked about it on the day we recorded this message, but I can't recall if we had it in the video, so I'm going to ask the question anyway. For people wondering, well, where are you going to put the shelter? You have more than 50 acres of land out there, don't you?
We do. And again, we've been working actively, and I'm not talking just like passively, I'm talking actively working on this for the last 6 months. Consulting with the county engineer and other places to try to figure out where we can put it. The building will be in the current location. The shelter will remain running until the new facility is built. And then we will tear the old building down, but we'll be out on the same location, just in a little bit different area on the property.
Still on Lick Run Road.
Lick Run Road.
Which Lick Run is pretty good for a dog shelter. Yeah, absolutely. Yes. Jen, congratulations on getting to this point.
I'm so excited to finally actually talk about it.
Yeah. It's been under wraps, but now it's not. It's out there.
It's out.
Feel free to share with everyone.
We've put it into the universe, and we hope that the universe gives it back to us and that we can make this happen faster than I'm thinking.
Even Fox Sports is excited. So, Jen, thank you for your time today.
Thank you so much.
And again, if you want to find out more, Ross County Humane Society.org is the web address. And of course, you can sit back and watch this again and again and again and share with others and let people know about it. Jenn Thomas, our special guest on a special edition of Litter Media Live.
Thank you, Dan.
Thank you.